And the always beautiful Mrs. Honeydew Carpenter. This is our Saturday morning live show. I just want to talk about a few things up front here. We have our live Patreon classes going on every Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. We now live in what's called the Pacific Northwest of the United States. Up in North Idaho, and so we're not in mountain time anymore. There was a little confusion. Last week was our first in the shop on-site class for our Patreon. We're going to get better and better at this as we go. So this next Patreon class, which is tomorrow, and it's going to be live, is going to be a question and answer session going through all the drawings and all the layout and all the steps of building the 3,000 degree burn box, okay, for your rocket mass heating system. And so that's going to be a fun one. We're going to, so get your book, go through that chapter, come up with any questions that you're going to have with it, and then we will go through those. And then the following week, we're going to actually build it. I'm going to actually physically do all the cuts and all the steps, step by step, all the way through it, and build one of those. And I'm hoping I can do it in like an hour and a half.
So I want to let everyone know that is on Patreon that if they want to join this class, they can go ahead to our Patreon. It's the $15 a month level, and you guys can follow along and watch us build a stove. And like Darwin said, the first week we're just going through question and A, going through. So if you guys have questions, that's the best time to answer, because when we're in the middle of building and doing it, Darwin's not going to have a lot of time to ask the questions.
And so far, excuse me.
Another thing I want to say is that you are going to watch this whole stove built from everything, every step of how it all goes together, all how it works and everything with Darwin.
Yeah, we're going to build the whole stove from the ground up. We're going to build multiple of them, actually. We have a wood-eating pig, just a traditional old, no automation on it, just regular dampers, just a big steel wood stove that from years past that we found in a junkyard on its side, been there for 15 years. And it would be something that if you put it in your home, it would eat like 10 or 12 quart a year in our environment up here in the Rocky Mountains. So, yes. And we're going to put our core and turn that stove into a gazelle. We're all gonna take a sheep herder's tent stove and turn it into a rocket stove by putting the core in. So not only am I gonna bend all the sheet metal and build one of these, or a couple, 2 or 3 of these stoves from the ground up in several different configurations. Not only am I going to do that, I'm also going to do these other projects.
But just so you guys know, we are learning as we go. So the classes are going to get better and better and better. So any feedback to help us make it better would be greatly appreciated.
So we have been using the camera on my laptop. And last time up at the shop when we did that, I built this thing that held the laptop up and it came down to where you could see my hands on the table. And I think there's going to be instances where that's the shot we're going to want, especially when I'm drawing the lines out on the table for the form. However, there's going to be other times when I'm cutting the 22.5 degree wedges out of a piece of wood that Melanie is going to be right in there with a camera or whatever. And so
we might do different live feeds that you can connect to.
There's going to be some trial and error, and she said, we might be able to say, okay, switch to this live feed, and you could click on that link, and it would bring up Melanie's camera on her phone, and then I'll go, okay, switch back to the laptop live feed.
I don't know if
I
we'll
mean-
do that. We might just run 2 separate live feeds.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out how to get a switcher that you can plug in multiple cameras to, but we'll see how that goes. We got so much going on, but the classes will get better. It's our first time ever doing these Patreon live classes, and so just bear with us.
Yes.
And so,
But we will build an amazing stove through the process.
yeah, and you'll get to see every step along the way. We're just going to go right through the book, step by step by step, and I'm going to do each step. And you will see how easy it is. We took a bunch of people through this in our original Do Carpenter University, and that was before I even had the step-by-step. I just kind of had to wing it as I went, and we kind of developed the step-by-step as we invented the whole thing. And so this ought to be fun. That being said, I'm also, guys, we were kind of radio silence for about a year and a half. We were going through some challenges with internet and being at the remote location. We did apply for the pre-launch of Starlink or whatever, and their pilot program where they only let remote locations be a part of it. But the waiting list was like a year and a half.
It has changed now, so you don't have to be so remote anymore or anything.
No,
to get on.
almost anybody can get
So, yeah.
Starlink now, but that created some challenges, and we were like radio silence for about a year and a half just because we didn't have internet, and we're up here trying to do our thing. And so now that we have it, I'm going through, and we're going through all the thousands of questions that people had left on our Etsy store, and we're answering every one of them. And there are some common themes and some common threads, especially about my Aircrete mix design recipes. Mm-hmm. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with my recipes. They absolutely work, and they work like they should. But as far as I knew, I was the only one out there in the ether and on the internet that wasn't having collapsing issues or problems. Don't get me wrong. When I first started, I had a few collapse on me. But, with my engineering background and different things with different ingredients and mix designs, I was able to solve those. However, I've made some discoveries where it's really critical when you're determining what water source you're going to use and being able to do pH balance tests and acidity tests and make sure that you can create a soft water and whatnot, and how to increase the surface tension of your bubbles and all this stuff. It's this new and all-inclusive
and improved
wall panel mix design, and every other mix design that I've ever done it's going to be like a 25-page booklet. It's going to go through every ingredient and why it is so necessary and what it actually does. And it's going to demystify. And that way, if you're even in another country, you'll be able to go, oh, so even though I don't have something like this exact thing, as long as I know what it's for and what it can do, I can maybe find a substitute product that'll do that.
Your coffee's done.
Oh, thank you, sweetie.
It smells really good.
Oh, yeah. Where's my cup?
I don't know.
It's right there.
Sorry. Here you go.
Yeah, well. Ooh, look at that. Steaming coffee.
Mm-hmm. Looks good.
Yeah.
Don't take a sip right now. It'll burn your tongue.
Yeah, I'll let this cool for a minute.
He loves making his coffee on the rocket stove. It's amazing. If you guys ever like percolated coffee, it's the best way. I tell you. All right, so Ken Nelson says, liked subscribed and shared. Oh, thank you, Ken. Bill says, just amazing, you two. You guys are so nice. John says, hello, you two. You can finish talking about the PDFs if you want.
Yeah, this is important, guys. It is super duper important because not only are we creating this 25-page booklet with step-by-step instructions and illustrations, so it'll be almost just like the book for building this stove. But I'm going to demystify why I use those ingredients, why they're in there, and what they accomplish, so that people in different countries, because I got a lot of messages from people in different countries who didn't have access to some of the ingredients, and they didn't understand what it accomplished and what it did and what they could do to substitute. I'm taking care of all that, and so we're going to update all of our mix designs, the refractory mix design, and I'm going to explain the difference between the refractory in this stove and that refractory, which is meant for like a forge or something that you don't want to be a bajillion pounds. Yeah. So, but anyways, the reason that those are important is because I've read the thousands of questions, I've seen the common threads, and I really believe I have solved everybody's problem. And there's just been people dropping like flies out there who've tried Aircrete, but it's not working for them, and they're having these collapsing issues, and they don't know what to do. And this will just take care of that for them. That being said, everybody who's ever bought our mix design package, I'm gonna push this new and improved booklet out to them so that they have a new understanding of what that is, and I'm going to do it free of charge. I just want to get the information out there and get people excited about Aircrete again, because it really, there's been too many people coming on and say why I gave up on Aircrete and I quit on Aircrete and it doesn't work, it's too finicky, and it does work. It is a good viable building material. It has mad insulative properties. It is bug proof. It is rot proof. It is mold proof, and it is awesome. And if you've ever been in an Aircrete building like what I built back behind Grandpa's place, it's crazy because we're in the dead of summer. It's like 96 degrees, high noon. And if you try and go in anybody else's shed, you'd get baked in there because the roof is, but the way I built that thing, and it takes on the environment at night, in the Aircrete, it becomes a thermal mass, and when it does, the sun does shine on it, it doesn't have enough time to change it because it changes so slowly. I mean, you go in there, it'd be 100 degrees outside, triple digits. You could go in there, no air conditioning, no nothing, and it'd be like 68, 70 degrees because that's what it was the night previous. It got down in the 50s. Yeah, it's awesome. And so, anyways, let's just answer some questions now, and then we'll be done with it.
John says, hello, you two. Well, hello. Lisa says, greetings. Is the Patreon able to be viewed later and reviewed? I rarely can watch it live. I want to incorporate a water distiller, and do you see the possibilities?
You could absolutely, without question, use this as a heat source to distill water and purify water. Yeah, this is like, this stove, it'll burn wet wood. It is a prepper's and a survival person's dream. I mean, it is, you could create purified water with it. You could put Peltiers on it and create low voltage milliamp generators that could charge batteries and create electricity for you. I mean, there's just a million, you can also turn it into electricity by running it through heat pumps and everything else.
And yes, there are links on Patreon that you can review and rewatch those again.
So once you're on Patreon, and even after we are done building these stoves and we go through this whole 6-8 week process of going through all the chapters and building the stoves and and doing the classes and whatnot. Anybody who signs up to Patreon after that will have access to all those classes. You, as someone who went through them live, or whether you couldn't make it live or not, will have access to all those classes. And as long as you're a subscriber, you will always have access to all those classes.
Yes.
So even if you don't have the book right now and you're not prepared to build along with me, you'll always have access to go build along when you do get ready to build yours.
Yes.
and get your book and your set of plans. Now, guys, these plans, they are so inexpensive, comparatively speaking, to anything that I used to do a lot of woodworking. Anybody who knows the Do Carpenter, when I first started my channel, it was all about my woodworking. And I built Mrs. Honeydew pizza peels, and I built my kids different teeter-totters, and I did different woodworking projects. And I am really a master carpenter, you know, when it comes to those things. I've just had so much experience with it and whatnot. And so anyway, anybody who's known that knows that about me. Where was I going with this?
I have no idea.
No, you do. Okay. That happens to me a lot.
Master Carpenter, and you were talking about the YouTube channel, and I don't know. We're going down a rabbit trail.
No, I'm not. I was going somewhere with it.
I don't know. I'm sorry. All right. Health, Wealth, and Freedom says hello or good morning. Jeff says hi all. Luis says buenos dias. Well, hello. Then. Delia says, you are amazing people. Well, thank you so much. Jeff says, would love to come and help. That'd be awesome. Heath says, howdy y'all. Jason says, hey guys, greetings from Virginia Beach. I sent an email to your Gmail address, I think. I have been trying to get back into answering all the emails too, so hopefully I'll get back to you soon, okay? I'll try really hard. Because I've been answering a bunch of emails and trying to get caught up on that too. Were you talking about Patreon and?
Yeah, it had something to do. It'll come to me. I just have to quit thinking about it, and it'll come to me.
Jeff says, I love my Starlink. It was better than beta member, and it works so good. Yes, it works amazing.
It's crazy how good it works. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Beaver Creek Farm Life put our Etsy link up, so thank you so much for that, Beaver Creek. That is amazing. If you guys are interested in getting a book, you can click that and go and get one.
Oh, I remembered, babe.
Yeah.
So basically, I used to be an avid woodworker, and that would be my outlet for my creativeness. And I belong to the 19.2% of the population who is so creative that they just can't not do it. It's that 19.2% of the population that feeds all these hobby shops, you know. And so that was my outlet. And I used to buy plans like for entertainment centers. Yeah, I used to buy plans for entertainment centers and plans to make a baby crib or whatever it was. And I mean, those plans were like, and they were just for one project, were like $99, $100. And you had to have thousands of dollars worth of tools and equipment to even complete them. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that these plans there's at least 150 or 200 drawings, or at least, I don't know. There's at least 100 drawings in there. And I spent hours and hours on the CAD program drawing these things up. Yeah. And then I take it step by step. And so this is such a complete and comprehensive plan in the book for this rocket stove. Fully illustrated, full CAD drawings, full dimensions, everything is there. and it's really a good value at $250. Because when I was just a hobbyist, I would spend $100 on a plan just for one project, you know.
Hey, Beaver Creek Farm Life, I want to say thank you for being awesome and putting all these links up for us. It's amazing. You put up our Patreon link if you guys are interested in joining those classes, or there's many different levels you can choose from. If you choose a level above that, it includes everything beneath it too. He says coffee, good. Yes, coffee's very good. Beaver Creek Farm Life also put our Koji app up, our link to Koji, and any of the PDFs are available on Koji too. I'm really liking Koji a lot. It's very easy to use.
And you don't have to compress any files because it's meant for ebooks.
I might have put a compressed one up because we were transferring it back and forth.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, if I have an uncompressed one, I could load it and it'd be fine.
Right.
So, but I need to do that. Antonio says hello from Tennessee. And Beaver Creek Farm Life put our email. Thank you for that. Tim Fox says, good morning, Darwin, Melanie, and family from Mesa, Arizona. Hope you all are keeping safe and warm in this blustery day in Idaho. Yes.
What you called this one winter storm warning? Yeah, we got dumped on like 6 inches yesterday, and it's supposed to dump again tonight.
Right.
And so it's, you know, they call this time of year up here in the Rocky Mountains the big tease, because you'll just have a few really nice days, and you're like, oh wow,
yay,
spring is here.
Nope.
Nope, not so much.
Red Rider says, hi there, my first live show. Love your videos. Oh, thank you, Red Rider. That's awesome. I'm glad you made it. Antonio says, did Aircrete Harry stop by? I told him about your live today. He did a live today too. He hasn't been on yet. Hopefully he
last
makes it.
week he was on, and I did call him and we had a conversation. We were working on kind of us helping him talk through building a jig to complete a certain type of apparatus that he wanted to do. So
Jason H says, it's the love of thermal mass, Darwin.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Beaver Creek Farm Life says, it may be weather related, but your signal quality is low. You're still there, just a little pixelated sometimes. Oh man, I'm sorry, you guys. That's no fun.
Wow, you look good in there, babe.
You're sweet. Bill says, so much could be done. Aircrete panels that slip together via grooves to create a easy build and disassemble doghouse, probably sell like hotcakes, right? There's so much to do. But we got to get our house insulated with it first, okay?
Yeah, and get a shop built before I start trying to produce these Lincoln Log put together kits.
Right. Antonia says, I have posted a great deal on 3D printing cement. I think you would be interested in the information that I've shared. I think 3D printing is a next big step for you. You should check it out. Apis Core. Okay. Sounds awesome. We'll have to check that out. Or he will. Antonio says Mudbots and Jared Gross. Those channels have great information. Okay.
Right.
That is awesome.
So we want to cut this live a little bit short, not have them go a full hour, which they have been. I'd rather keep it at about half of that. People look at on YouTube and they look at how long it is and they don't even bother because they don't want to go through all the fluff to get to the meat. And so we're gonna try and keep these down to no more than like 20 minutes, but we're already over that by 4 minutes.
So you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you guys later.
And we love you guys, and thanks, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.